here we go. Dirty Thursday on Grand Forks' best source. It's going to be that time of the year. We're talking track schedules, and we're going to start the scheduling this year with Devil's Lake Speedway. Yeah. Heather MacDonald, Nolan, Olmstead in the show, in the studio, along with my sidekick, my co-host, Stephen Lewis, and Dale, the producer, is right here. Welcome to Dirty Thursday, everybody, brought to you by the Red River Valley Motorcyclist Spirit of America Bike and Car Show. It's the Red River Valley Motorcyclist Spirit of America Bike and Car Show, Saturday and Sunday, May 3rd and 4th at the Alaris Center in Grand Forks. Admission is just $10. Kids 12 and under are free with a paying adult, and veterans are absolutely free. There's going to be a raffle with $90,000 worth of prizes, including a Polaris 1000 North Star Ultimate Crew Cab Ranger, a Harley-Davidson Street Glide, and Polaris Sportsman 570, with the net proceeds benefiting the Veterans Honor Flight of North Dakota, Minnesota. Get your tickets by calling Scott at 406-899-5247 or Timothy at 701-739-1605 or go to rrvmnd.org. The Red River Valley Motorcyclist Spirit of America Bike and Car Show, Saturday and Sunday, May 3rd and 4th at the Alaris Center in Grand Forks. All right, we are back. And wouldn't you know it, Nick Curtis, first one to reply. Good morning, all. Who else? Tommy Corcoran. Hey, good morning. Happy Thursday. Corey Litton. Woohoo! To be the man. Hello from Southern Minnesota. Jeff Cornels Chewy is also watching the show. Welcome, everybody. If you have any questions or comments, you want to text like these people are doing, feel free. Our number, 701-213-0863. 701-213-0863. And as we were getting ready to go here, I looked at Stephen Lewis and I said, oh my gosh, I forgot to get a joke, my neighbor tells me. But here we go. So I grabbed one out of my stack. I keep track of what she says.
I almost took offense to that. I was like, you look at me and you thought joke. And anyway.
No, I was going to say, Stephen's hat.
Okay, calm down now.
No, that's not a joke.
Things are still rolling on.
I know. Okay. Yeah, they are definitely. Man, they look good. Anyway, here we go. Jokes my neighbor tells me. What do you call a zombie who writes music? What do you call a zombie who writes music? A decomposer.
Oh, boy.
Okay, that was probably one of the better ones that you've had.
You think so?
Yeah.
All right. A couple of things I want to talk about here quickly. First up, that press release again. This Friday, that is tomorrow, David Snyder, the piano says it better, reimagined, happening at the Empire Arts Center. Again, that is going on tomorrow. Get a hold of the Empire Arts Center if you want to find out more. And I tell you what, if you ever wanted to try girls hockey for free, folks, listen up. Maybe a niece or something or a neighbor. Here's your chance to get the girls interested in girls youth hockey. They're working together, East Grand Forks and Grand Forks, the East Grand Forks team and the Aviators and Grand Forks working together to build a community for girls hockey. Here's what they are doing. It's a chance for you to participate in some hockey stuff, and it will cost you nothing. Equipment and skates will be available to be borrowed if needed. But check this out, April 6th, I believe that is this Saturday, 3 o'clock to 4 o'clock at the VFW Arena in East Grand Forks. Any girls out there interested in trying youth hockey before your parents spend all that money to get them going, here's your chance. It's April 6th from 3 to 4, and then April 10th from 6:30 to 7:30 at the Icon Arena in Grand Forks. Chance for you to get your girls interested in hockey.
Devil's Lake did that, except they did it for an entire season. They provided all the equipment minus the skates.
Yeah.
And I think they waived the fees, didn't they?
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
See, I know we got the Bruce Spicer youth hockey thing here now in Grand Forks, and that's kind of what they are doing. That's what they have that big golf tournament for every year. So I think that's a great idea. And, you know, I know people are like, my kid will never play hockey. It costs too much. Your kids skate. My neighbor's kid is in dance. You talk about costing some money.
I have dancers, too.
Oh, geez. You know, to get them started in hockey, it's not that bad when they're little. You don't have to buy brand new gear all the time. In fact, what I used to do every year was I would keep my duffel bag full of my kids' youth hockey stuff as he would get older. I would give it out. I'd just say, here, come and look at my garage. Whatever you need, you can have.
20. You want a pair of figure skates? I got an oodles of them.
Right.
I'll get rid of them for $20-$30.
Yeah, and I would just say, case of beer. You know, bring me some Busch Latte and we'll be good. One more quick little reminder here. We're still looking for a trackside announcer to join me at River City Speedway. We've got a guy in mind right now, but what I think we're going to do this year is if anybody wants to give this a try, we might just do this whole year as, I don't know, maybe a tryout year. We'll see. Right now, I've got a guy who's I think is going to do a really good job. But I'm not going to close the door on that yet. So if you would like to, feel free, personal message me, give me a call. There's people that know how to find me. Do that. One more thing I wanted to talk about. There should have been a test and tune this weekend, and it's not happening. But we'll talk about that in a minute. Nolan Olmstead, how you doing, my friend?
Doing great.
How's the winter treating you? You look good.
Yeah, thank you.
Have you, losing weight?
No.
No? Maybe a haircut or my eyes are getting worse?
Yeah, I cut my own hair, so yeah. It
Oh,
looks
do
good.
you?
Yeah.
You know, I used to.
He did not do a good job this time.
I used to
It
cut.
worked out.
Yeah, well, I think it looks all right. I used to cut my own hair, and my wife finally just put a kibosh to it. And I would
Did
just
you
sit
have
out
the
on the
Flowbee?
deck. No, I don't. I just have the clippers, and then I use mirrors, and then I'll have her come but it was never a flat top. And she goes, you got the barber right across the hall from me. You can see it from your window. Go start getting your hair cut again there, because I've been going there for 30 years. But I think it looks good, and plus I always wear a baseball hat.
Well, that's
the
Nolan's
difference today.
saving
I don't have a hat on today. That's the difference.
Yeah, okay. Do you normally wear a hat?
Yeah.
Oh, you do? Okay. Yeah, it's the only time I don't is if
Well,
I'm
the
in
first
church or
time
at the
you were
supper
on, I
table.
think you had the hood on, and Josh called you DJ Nolan or something.
The hood, no.
Or
I
there was
never-
something-
I never had that.
It looked like you were rapping though
He
the
does
first time you were
not.
on.
I don't even wear sweatshirts.
Yeah.
Hardly.
He rarely wears a sweatshirt. It's got to be pretty cold for him to
Oh,
wear a
you-
sweatshirt.
Or your hat was backwards or something.
Oh,
Yeah,
that could've
but
been, yeah.
he
Yeah,
looks
that's what
good
it
in a
was.
sweatshirt. He looks pretty hot in a sweatshirt.
Yeah, you would be. You're probably more comfortable than we are. We've had the air conditioning on in here all day because it gets that warm in here. Our heat never runs in the studios at Grand Forks Best Source. It's always that warm. What do you do in the winter to waste the time?
Work. Mm-hmm. Me and Heather have been running the bar all winter. We
Sure.
actually laid our employees off. Our cook decided he wanted to go coach hockey.
Oh, okay.
So,
yeah.
and then his wife was our bartender, so
Oh,
she wanted
boy.
to go with him. So me and Heather worked all winter. So
Okay.
we've been busy.
Will they come back or?
Yeah, they're
Oh,
already
okay.
back.
They actually
They're already
came
back
back
last week.
Yeah,
Okay.
last week. So
And you guys know what it's like to be able to do the things with your children, with your kids. I can remember every year for my eval when I was working construction, and I would get yelled at every year about taking all my vacation and missing time for my kids' sports. And when it came down to my very last eval and my boss's kid, who wasn't that good in sports, he sat me down for my eval and he says, you know what? He goes, all those years I yelled at you. He goes, I wish I would have done what you did, but it's too late now. So enjoy it while you can, because before you know it, they're going to be sick of you.
I
Well,
feel
they're
like that was a
16 I have a
different
s-
era.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I have
well,
a
yeah.
16-year-old, and she doesn't like me. So
Oh, I used to tell people, enjoy it while you can, because before you know it, they're going to be gone. But
Right.
I've changed that to enjoy it while you can, because before you know it, they're going to be sick of you. And they
Right.
go through that phase. They do go
Yeah.
through that phase.
yeah, well, it's a phase, that's for sure. But there's that's just a whole nother topic.
Yeah.
There's not enough beer in the studio to.
Okay,
Solve that
for another
problem.
show. I got an opening next week. Let's see. Morning, everybody. Josh Barker, Casey. I have not heard from Jory Berg yet, but is there a test and tune on Saturday? We know there was supposed to be one in Devil's
Flooding
Lake,
pit
but there's
stalls
not.
the way this is going.
Yeah,
you can absolutely come down and run the track all you want.
yeah. It's.
But
how
we're
much-
not pulling you out.
How much snow did you guys get?
About 3 inches.
Oh, you
Yeah.
did. Okay. Yeah, and it's heavy. I mean, it's
Yeah.
a very heavy, wet
slush.
snow. Yeah.
But we needed that moisture.
Oh,
It's
we
just,
do.
It was supposed to come in a form of rain.
Yeah.
Not snow.
And that's what I tell people that say, well, we need the moisture. And I tell them, I have never once had to shovel rain. I have no problem.
Right.
I've
We
never
wanted-
had to
we wanted
start a
the
machine
rain.
for rain. Yeah, we need rain. We're going to be in a drought. I'm a cat fisherman. I'm on that river 2-3 times a week all summer long. And by the end of June this year, we're probably not going to have any water. Not
Oh,
enough
don't
water to
worry.
even go
Devil's
fish.
Lake's got
So.
plenty of it.
Well, I know, but I
just
can't
open.
catfish there.
Yeah, I know, but we'll just open them gates and we'll just let her buck through the Cheyenne right back into the red.
There we go. By the way, how's your winter going?
It's going.
Or how did it go?
It's that's a it's a topic for another
Up
day.
early at the rink.
Flew
Yeah.
by.
The
It
typical
did.
thing.
It did flow by. Yeah.
Yep.
It flew by.
And how are you doing over there, my friend?
I kind of have a voice.
Yeah,
so-
yeah. You come walking in. I saw you walk in the back north door, and you were hacking.
Try not to.
And I said,
snort
"Are
into
you
the
okay, brother?" And you,
microphone.
what do you got? Some bronchitis going on or something?
About 10 days or so.
Yeah,
We're,
okay.
We're on the correct side of it now. so.
Okay, you're on the downside of that now. Casey says we received about 8 inches of snow here. So depressing after being so excited. Yeah, I get
Hewlett
it,
got
man.
something like 11, so I can't
Yeah.
imagine that's just 5 miles north of Glendon. So I don't know what that would have done to Buffalo River there.
Yep,
with,
you know-
he's putting new dirt down, whatever. So
Oh yeah, and
that was my thought of the morning for
Sure.
some reason. But
And I've been told, you could take the plow off your four-wheeler now. I'm like, yeah, I've been told that
We have to
before,
put
and
the
I
plow
made the
back
mistake.
on the pickup so
I'm
we
just
can.
going to try to get the skid steer going.
Yeah. Well, it gets to be a pain in the ass. You know, I wanted to bring up a topic, and we've been seeing it more and more lately. Social media, you know, it's a wonderful thing, but it's also, it can suck. I mean, there's a lot of people that think they're really something and think they're all powerful and all almighty. When they're behind a keyboard, you know, the keyboard warrior. We all know what they're about. I've probably maybe been guilty of it a few times myself, but I'm not afraid. I don't hide. You can find me wherever you want to talk to me about it. But people dissing racetracks. And I know you've heard me talk about this before, being an announcer. We're kind of the whipping post. A lot of people think that we have everything to do with everything at a racetrack, and we don't. But
That you guys call the shots?
Yeah. And but I'll listen to whatever you think you know. You know, because they all know. They all know more than the owners do. They all know more than
Yeah.
the promoters do.
Yeah.
But I know there was some stuff said, and when it comes to, you kind of basically stuck up for a different racetrack.
Yeah.
I like to think that the racetracks around here, for the most part, nobody wants to diss anybody else's racetrack. We're kind of we're not in this together, but we are. The sport, we've seen racetracks closing all over the country. We're pretty damn lucky to have the amount of racetracks we do up here in a not that far of an area, of a radius. But I think people around here kind of stick up for each other. You don't step on anybody's toes. They don't
Not
step
on
on yours.
purpose.
Right. And it's kind of a, you know, it's almost like an unwritten rule, but it's the same thing. If you're going to complain and diss and think you know more about what's going on at a racetrack, like you said, come on down, give it a shot, you know.
Right.
You see if you can make anything any better. But do you hear that a lot? Because you and I are both very vocal when it comes to hearing these
I don't
things.
mince my words, you know.
No,
I
you do
I
not.
really don't. And it's just going to buckle up. I'm almost 40. It's just going to get worse.
What did she say? Buckle up. I'm almost 40. Oh, that's a good one. Could use that one for jokes my neighbor tells me. Yeah, okay, I'm sorry.
So, you know, yeah, we had that individual comment on our reel here the other day and dissing the neighbor, and I just thought, boy, you really have no clue, because I can drive by here. I can drive by that specific racetrack on a Tuesday, and I see them working on the track,
Yeah.
and I'm going, oh, you know, I probably
Yeah.
wouldn't work on the track today, but, you know, it is what it is.
The
You know,
people
that's
can
your choice.
assume, but
Right. And I'm like, okay, so they're working on the track all week, and then you're going to sit there and say that they don't do any track prep? Bullshit.
yeah. And you know what? What do they say about assuming? You can assume in one hand and
Shit
do
in the
whatever in the
other
other
hand.
hand. And at the end of the day, what do you have? Handful of not assumptions.
Well, isn't it like assumption, make an ass out of me and make an ass out of you or something like that?
It's yeah, and you know what? I don't know if whoever we are talking about is going to watch this show today, but knock it off. All right, if you got something to say, go say it to their face.
Right?
I have the track prep just figured out. I mean, it's different every week. So.
Every week, every year, it's you know, and where we live in the damn tundra.
Yeah.
People
Right.
don't realize that.
Is it windy? Is it hot? Did it rain?
Which
You
way
know,
is the wind
which
coming
way is
from?
The wind coming
Is
from?
it supposed to rain?
If it's a west wind, I can go a little bit slicker. If
Yep.
it's an east wind, I got to throw the water to
Humidity.
it. I mean,
There's just
humidity,
a
yeah,
billion
it's-
things
people
to
just
think
don't
about.
They just
you,
don't
you
understand.
you don't quite need a degree in chemistry, but it really seems like we're getting more and more to that point where you gotta know chemistry.
the researching and the additives that I put in and the things that I do to the track. And
do I have to pump the infield as soon as I get home from River Cities
Yeah.
3 weeks in a row?
Well, no, hell no.
That
we
kinda
just,
thing.
We don't. We
Yeah.
just drop the pumps and then go.
What do we got here? It's okay. I'm not ready. Both cars are going to take another week or so. That's Josh, Jason Berg. Good morning,
Why is
Heather and
Josh
Nolan.
never ready? Josh, why are you never ready?
Maybe he's working too much.
Maybe.
I don't know. All right. So your track right now was looking good until this last blast of Mother Nature came through. What are you thinking? If we have another talking a 50-50 shot of more snow maybe tomorrow, but
I'm not worried about that. It's supposed to be in the 50s. And
Yeah, right.
Close to 60 next week. we don't think we're probably going to get a race in, but we might do a test and tune the 12th.
Okay.
This is probably a dumb question, but your reels the other day, were those
They're
file
pre-scheduled.
video? Okay. I wasn't sure if that was new or if you'd been
that
on.
was an actual picture from that day.
Oh, yesterday's was actual legit. Like
that was the snow
Yeah.
that we have out there.
Yeah.
Oh, no, when I saw the tractor in a reel or something, I wasn't
that's
sure if
old.
you'd been on yet or
that
not.
tractor doesn't even run anymore.
Have you guys been on out yet at all?
Not yet.
Okay.
No, it just hasn't been nice enough.
Yeah, sure.
The frost isn't out of the track. I mean, it's going to be a bit.
We don't need. We don't need.
By next week, it should
we
be
don't-
fine.
Technically, we don't need the frost out of the track.
No.
Technically.
Yeah. I mean, it depends on what's under there because everything's a little different.
Well,
I know they used to have problems with frost in 1 and 2. At River Cities, and not much you can do about frost. I don't
usually-
think we'll have that issue this year, but
I usually don't have any trouble with the track as far as frost goes, so
No,
I'm not really worried about it. I'm
It's
just
your- that-
I'm just trying to wait for it to warm up so I can actually go out there and do it.
It's almost more of the concern. I don't know about you guys, but like getting into the fairgrounds with the frost boils is
yeah.
can
we
be
have- we
Oh,
have-
that
we have-
road coming in from the west,
We have more
or even
problems
coming
at
in
east.
or
Yeah.
even coming in under the arches.
Yeah.
too.
Oh,
That'll,
sure.
that'll rough up pretty good
Yep.
too. So.
We have more of a frost boil issue at home
Oh.
than we. That's usually if we do have a frost boil problem, we have it at home.
Not at
We've
the
never
track.
we've never. It's so sandy at the track that
Yeah.
we don't have that.
Oh,
problem.
sure. Josh Barker, by the way, did answer you. I'm the best at procrastinating until the last minute. Good. You can take that title from me. Tell my wife. Because that is about what happens. All right. Any changes that you can see for this year before we start talking track schedules and things like that? But any new exciting news we need to hear about besides what we're going to be talking about?
About the only thing we have that's new for this year is we're actually bringing in NOSA again.
And the legends.
And we will
And
be
the
talking about
legends.
that. Oh, and the legends, okay. Before we get into the track schedules and last year and this year, talk a little bit about, you guys said you've been running the bar and the grill and the restaurant. I love your food, but if nobody's been there, haven't been to, in fact, we had a guy in here, stopped in here earlier today, and he didn't even know that Devil's Lake was still even a racetrack. And we're trying to tell him how cool it is. You know what? These guys don't get out much. But if you're going to be a first-timer there, never been there, and I say, go to Devil's Lake, get there early, go eat some food, stay late, watch the races. What do you tell people to get them to come in there and get them to come back?
Try the steak.
Yeah.
Be back
Oh, yeah.
every week.
Yeah. What about you? See, because I love the way it's set up. You can sit out there right off
Right.
turn 4, you
Right.
know, and it's so cool.
Yeah, it's the best seat in the house.
Oh, yeah,
It really
for
is.
sure.
Likewise the steak. Our burgers are fresh pattied. They're hand pattied. We patty them ourselves.
Hand
it's
cut
fresh.
steaks.
Yeah, and we hand cut our steaks. Well, I mean, we try to put the best of the best in the freshest possible thing we can put out there.
And
So,
the bush latte is always cold.
the bush lattes are always cold.
You guys have those like that vending kind of machine
Yeah.
thing there.
Yeah,
That is
they're
so
not
cool.
They're not even made anymore. They were made in Minot.
I'd never seen anyone have one before except for you guys.
Yeah, we had one when we had the bar in Michigan. There was one there too. There's a few bars here and there that have
One of those would be so great in
Now
the
that
studio.
I think about it, my headquarters, which doesn't sponsor the show, but we have one over there.
Oh, do you?
I think. Yep.
What's in it though?
All of the Bush.
Oh,
Buds,
okay.
All,
okay.
all of those kind
we
of
have
things.
3
but
beer fridges, but we only keep
I
beer in
literally
one.
just recognized that because usually I'd walk in there and the first thing I see is thunk.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
You know, just
Yeah.
like
And they have to be loaded a certain way too, though.
yes.
Oh,
yeah,
really?
Yep,
Yeah,
yep.
people do not realize that. It seems like every time we get a new
Mm-hmm.
staff member, like there's a whole training on. Okay, they've got to go in a certain way, otherwise it's gonna jam, and then they're gonna pop, and then you have to clean the entire thing out and clean it.
Yeah. So, what are the crowds like? Okay, I'm just going to say summer. From a Saturday to a Friday, are the crowds way bigger on race nights, or
Oh, for
it's
sure.
just okay?
Oh, yeah.
And how is that as far as keeping the help? I mean, they know they're gonna probably make some good money on a Saturday.
Oh, they make bank on a Saturday night. If you're-
They
if you're-
definitely love working race
Yeah,
nights.
if you're,
Oh, yeah.
if you're
we
a bar-
never have trouble hiring people for race nights
Okay,
Yeah.
okay, because
in the bar.
in the bar, or as bartenders, as soon as they figure out how much money they're making, they're pretty good. But you know, but when you leave that place, when you walk out the door at 2:15, everything hurts. And I mean, it hurts, and you can barely walk. You want to cry. You run
The
your
cry in the
ass
cooler.
It takes a good 3 days to physically recover from a race night.
Oh, absolutely.
You don't make the joke to me very often. It was just like, you could either come help me score or work at the bar. I was like, fuck, I'll score.
Hey, we got a couple of questions. Lindsay says, can we call in and order from the pits so it's ready after I DNF and don't starve on the way home? That's Lindsay. Dale, flat tire burger and ham and cheese bites. Get my recommendation. The ham and cheese bites, everybody talks about those. Every time we get there, they get us beers off the bat when we walk in the door. Waitresses are awesome, always efficient and happy. And I've always found that too. They're always...
Dale with the long distance comment in there.
Oh yeah. I was going to jump in there, but no. Yeah, I had a chance to experiment with the menu several times last season. And Heather, I know you recommended the flat tire burger to me, mac and cheese and barbecue sauce on a hamburger patty. Oh, awesome.
I'd never heard of that. I'm gonna have to try
Have you had
that.
the 4 wide yet?
The 4 wide's awesome.
What's on that one again?
The 4 wide is Canadian bacon, regular bacon, habanero bacon jam, and double cheese, Swiss and American cheese on a burger.
Man. See,
It's delicious.
my problem is I don't eat enough before races.
You really can't go
and I
wrong out
should.
there.
Yeah,
You
I know.
can't.
I know.
So-
And a lot of people, that's a big thing to them is how is the concession stands? What is their food like? Well, you've got a restaurant right there that's got some awesome food. So Daryl Works, hey, our Canadian friends up there, good morning, John, Stephen, crew, and guests. Going to try hit Devil's Lake Speedway more this year. Good times on race weekends. Great food as well. Cheers. And, it's so funny because I've been arguing with certain people lately about things like tariffs. And they try to tell me how the Canadians hate us now and all of this stuff. I said, I
I
tell
haven't
you what.
experienced that.
Yeah, I said, I tell you what. I said, I got a lot of Canadian friends. I cannot wait to see them again. And I bet you we won't even talk about anything like that.
No.
It's just a bunch of crap.
I think if you're kind of a independent thinker, I think you see what's
going on.
on. And
Yeah, you're not
I heard that
drinking
they're
the
paying-
Kool-Aid.
Yeah, I heard they're paying like 66% in taxes, in income taxes. I was like, what?
Yeah. Oh,
That's
but
worse than Norway.
Yeah, but then they say that's free health care. So it's got to come from
Then
somewhere.
Then
but
why are they coming down here for healthcare?
yeah, I don't know. I know people going up there, but I just think they're great race fans. I love to tip a few with them. I can't wait to have some more methanol moonshine with them this summer. In fact, I got a bottle for my 60th birthday, and that was so cool. Who was it? Savannah Strand.
Yep.
The Strands gave it to me. So I thought that was awfully neat.
Was that really neat? You could see through it and see the picture
In the background,
of the race car in the background.
the
That was
inside of the
really neat.
label. I don't know if you guys have seen that methanol moonshine at Wayne Unger from Australia.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, and so you can order it for your team or your racetrack. And, it's got the label and it tells you what it is, but in the back of the
You
label,
can look through the
see
bottle
it.
and see the race car through it.
That's
Like,
awesome.
it's
Or
really
your
neat.
bar,
Yeah.
or a picture of your
Yeah.
racetrack, or whatever picture you decide to have on there. And it is really cool. And not to mention, methanol moonshine is kind of a bad name for it. It's actually, what flavor is it? Peach? No.
Sounds right.
Yeah, it's
Sounds
very
right.
good. It's like really good after dinner drink. Good stuff. Corey Litton, hi, Mike Speaker.
Apparently, we're having a superior meeting in the
Okay.
middle of this. So, hi guys. I thought I buried them with enough stuff. I sent enough stuff off this morning,
Okay.
but I guess not.
I see you weren't at the Dolly Down yesterday.
Yeah, no. It's one of those things. If the weather's iffy, I don't want to get caught down there.
Yeah,
you
it
know,
was kind of
so.
iffy too. All right. You know what I think we should do? Let's take a break now. We'll take a break now. Then we're going to talk about last year at Devil's Lake and what to look forward to this year. And besides, we're all getting thirsty. We'll be back right after this Dirty Thursday on Grand Forks Best Source. April 19th, the Valvoline Tire One Toughest Monster Truck Tour Championship presented by Baymont by Wyndham Grand Forks will return to the Alaris Center with the nation's toughest monster trucks, including a brand new truck never seen before in North Dakota. Want to make it even more exciting? Grab a pit pass and come early. Walk on the dirt. Get up close to these massive machines, meet the drivers, and snap some awesome selfies. Tickets are available at the Trans System box office or online at aleruscenter.com. Pit passes are available for free at Valvoline Tire 1 in Grand Forks and $15 wherever tickets are sold. Don't miss the Monster Truck Fun April 19th at the Alerus Center. And when you stop in to Valvoline Instant Oil Change, tell them Grand Forks Best Source sent you for $10 off an oil change. It's the Valvoline Tire 1 Toughest Monster Trucks April 19th at the Alerus Center in Grand Forks. All right, here we are back on a Dirty Thursday. Kicking off our slew of track schedules with Devil's Lake Speedway. Of course, Heather MacDonald, Nolan Olmstead in the studio, along with myself, Stephen Lewis, and Dale, the producer. If we were to look back at last year, here's the thing. When we get late model guys in here and B-mod guys, your typical what we see at Devil's Lake, they absolutely love your track. They absolutely love it. Was there one night, 2 or 3 nights last year that were just topped it off for you?
I think every night was just great racing last year. It was, when the late models came, it was great. The B mods always put on a good show. I mean, the wingless, everybody, the streets.
Yep.
I think every night was very competitive. Lots of lanes. You know, I try to work the track so they have more than one lane, and it doesn't always work out, but
no, and it doesn't.
For the most part, it did.
Yeah, and we talk. Mother Nature has a lot to do with that too. I didn't call any races there last year, but I've called a lot of races there, and I don't think I've ever seen a night there that I was there that it wasn't a good racetrack.
So not only was the racing close again, but this was all off of new dirt right from the get-go.
Yep.
It settled in real nice and became I'll just go ahead and say it was the best surface in the area. And that's no slight against anyone else. It just flat out was.
Me and my dad work really hard to try to make it as smooth as possible.
Sure.
With the least amount of dust, but yet not super tacky.
Yeah, right.
You know,
Which is pretty easy to do out there because it doesn't ever get windy or nothing. So.
Yeah,
not at all.
Yeah, those 50-mile-an-hour winds.
Yeah,
they're
sometimes
just light.
I always love my drive out there.
Yeah. Sometimes the guy in the white van would block the wind. Yeah. By the way, that was Peach, the moonshine.
I saw our vice fact checker of the show.
Yeah.
Came in there,
Josh says, just wanted to say we traveled to a number of different tracks last year, and Devil's Lake was by far the best racing condition we had all year long. Hats off to those guys. Heather, you got to love hearing that kind of stuff.
Yeah, no, absolutely. I mean, Nolan and Eugene do an awesome job.
So did you have a night last year that you just went, man, we knocked it out of the park this year or this night or this week?
I don't know. Yeah, I mean, like every night it just seemed like it. You know, if we got the show in, it seemed like it was a good night.
You know the Golden Hammer with the late models.
Yeah.
The 40 lapper, they actually let me do 40 laps this year, and you know what? That just was awesome.
Oh, I bet. Was there a lot of cautions in that race?
No.
See, that is
like
crazy.
one or two.
Yeah, when you can get a race off like that. And one thing too I like is
we went a lot of races this year. Green, white, checker.
Yeah,
yeah.
that tells you something right there, because the better the track is, the better the racing is going to be.
Right.
And then another nice thing about a nice track is you don't have to listen to these guys complain about other things when it's usually their fault that they're finished where they did. You know what I mean? Don't blame it on the track, dude. Everybody else is on that same racetrack that you are. Did you have very many rainouts last year?
Oh, we had a ton.
You did, huh?
Yeah, we had 7.
Oh boy, because the year before I don't think you had any.
Yeah.
And I think the year before that you had like 11 or what. It's funny how that works.
It seems like we had
What year did you pop the champagne? I feel like I was traveling. It was 22, wasn't it?
Yeah.
We didn't have any
Didn't
either.
have it.
So
Yeah, 0 rainouts.
Yeah.
But last year it was.
I think it went 0-0-7.
It was
like
it was a rough start.
2 good ones and then the bad start. Yeah.
So we had a terrible start last year.
Well, we
It took us-
practiced
took
on
us-
April 12th and then didn't race for a month.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it took us 5 races to.
Oh, right.
Of bad weather to actually get a race in after a beautiful night of test and tune. That we
Very
coulda
nice
that we could
practice.
have actually raced.
Yeah.
Yeah, we didn't. We're not expecting it to be that nice.
That's crazy
No.
how that works. Casey says, hands down, the best racing surface in the tri-state region that I raced at last few years. Man, you got to love to hear that.
Absolutely.
This year, looking at your schedule, man, you guys got the late models coming in a lot this year.
10
10 times. Same
10
as,
times.
Same as last year, but
Oh, were they there that many times
yeah,
last
they
year?
ended up only racing 6, but because the early shows.
Again,
they-
weather.
Sure. Okay. Let's go through the schedule a little bit here. You're planning on kicking off April 12th. Again, you were going to try to have a test and tune this Saturday, but obviously nobody's going to be test and tuning it all this weekend. But you start off April 12th. You guys have got, well, for the first 3 weeks in a row, the late models are going to be there. The Midwest Mods, Street Stocks, Pure Stocks. On that third week, you got Street Stocks and Pure Stocks also. But then things start to change. And when we go down this schedule, I'll start with you, Nolan. What's one of the first ones that catches your eye that's like, man, I can't wait for this night? Besides opener, of course.
Well, definitely the May 17th. We're trying to run the NLRA, every month. So we're going to run the NLRA for sure on May 17th. So that'd be a really good one to get started with. And
I think that also kicks off the series schedule.
Oh,
as well.
sure.
Yep, so
We usually do kick off.
I think
their
about
series.
5 years in a row started
Yeah.
out there.
Yeah,
Oh,
it's
okay.
It's kind of gotten to be a thing.
Yeah.
Okay. Also, now your first, I believe, Golden Hammer Classic will be June 14th, if I
Yep.
get this right. And that's the NLRA late model Golden Hammer Classic, plus Midwest Mod, Street Stocks, Pure Stocks. 5 Gs, 5 large to
And
win.
that is the 6th running of that?
Is it? It's either this. I think
Sixth
it's
or
seventh.
seventh.
I think
Seven?
It's the seventh.
7.
Wow.
Thanks to Walhalla Building Center for helping
Daryl
us
and
out
Missy,
with that.
thank you.
Daryl and Missy are awesome.
And those guys have stuck with you
Yep.
probably
Through thick
since
and
day
thin.
one.
Yep.
Through
Yep.
thick and thin.
You know, how important is that to have
Huge.
sponsors
Huge.
like that?
If we
Huge.
didn't have them for a sponsor, it wouldn't happen.
Really? Wow.
Right.
That tells you something right there. What else we got here? You got the Cliff Reeves Memorial. That's $1,004 to win, and that's a Street Stock special. That's another great purse for Street Stocks.
Yep.
What else we got
Which,
here?
Nolan
which,
and
which
I-
night is that?
That's going to be the 28th.
Yep, June 28th.
Okay.
So, and Nolan and I are actually taking that on ourselves this year. So we have to kind of pound the pavement for the sponsors for that show. So
Okay.
if you're interested in throwing some money at that show,
And
let us know.
You're saying you're in charge of what somebody else did before, or how did that work?
Yeah. There was
a group of people that used to raise the sponsorship money, and they
Oh,
decided to back out of it
Well,
a
they're-
little bit this year. and
They've got
they got other things going
Doing
on
other
and
things.
busy.
Yeah.
they have
We really
life
thank them for
events.
doing that for years.
Yeah,
Okay.
their lives have changed, and that's fine.
You know, I hate to even say this, and I can't believe it's coming out of my lips, but not everything revolves around racing.
No.
Right now, the schedule is I'm scheduled to miss the very first race at River City Speedway
Oh,
this
no.
year, so I don't know what's going to happen. I don't ever wish for a rain out, but I just don't know what to say.
I look back at Dale. He's already going, heck yeah.
Oh, by the way, if you haven't heard, Dale will be my replacement this year at River City Speedway, so that's going to be fun. I can't wait to get him up there.
Backup goalie.
Yeah, there we go. There you go.
Don't fuck up.
Yeah,
we were happy to give them a lot of practice last year.
Yeah.
yeah. I
You'll be
mean,
fine.
Yeah, I had a blast last year. So looking forward to calling action this season. And just, how many features were there last year that came down to like the hundredths of a second? So many.
Lot.
Yeah.
Lot.
Yeah, it was a hell of a season last year.
I've never gotten yelled at so much in my life. No, I'm just kidding.
Yeah, they don't seem to know where the finish line is.
Yeah, you
So-
know-
so they think that they
It's
won.
not
or-
even,
Oh,
it's not
yeah,
even the drivers. Like the drivers are like, was it me? Was it
Yeah,
him? You know,
yeah.
and they're all good sports about it. It's the people in the stands. No, that's not right. That's like the computer doesn't lie.
Exactly. There's a line there, and if anything, it's maybe where you have your transponder deal on your car or whatever, but they're all supposed to be in
They're
the
supposed
same
to be the
place.
same.
And,
Same
yeah.
place, yeah.
Okay, keeping going down here, we got the Walhalla Building Center again, the 3,000 to win Midwest Mod Golden Hammer Classic. That's coming up on July 6th. You've got the Western Renegade Non-Wing Nationals coming up in August. You got the NOSA Outlaw Sprints coming up in September. What a hell of a schedule you guys have put together. When you put this schedule together, how hard is it to do? And do you talk to the other racetracks, the local
absolutely
tracks?
do.
we try to.
Try
and
to.
Thank you,
we,
by the way, up there.
we try to work with everybody we can, you know, to not step on anybody's feet, and we usually wait till a lot of the tracks have their schedules
Sure.
out, so we can actually try to work around it or work with the NLRA. They usually know kind of their schedule going into it, so we can pick and choose what we're gonna do, so we don't overlap too much.
Yep. Now, I know you guys had mentioned you got NOSA Outlaw Sprints coming back, and that's brought to you by Bullis Construction in September. How hard was it to get NOSA to come back to your racetrack? I know there was a lot of conversations, and me being the guy, like I said, kind of the whipping post, I hear a lot of things. I take a lot of things with a grain of salt because I don't know until I talk to who's who or who,
Right.
but all I care about is you have got some sprint cars coming back, the
Right.
winged sprint
So
cars. And
here's
it's,
how this all kind of came about. So it was River City's last race of the year, and Steven was racing the non-wing that night, and he's like, pretty much blowing up our phones, like, "Are you coming? Are you coming? Are you coming? Are you coming?" And so we're like, "All right, let's go down. We'll go watch the races at River Cities, and we'll support Steven." And then it was, "Well, we're gonna go to the drum." All right, so we're at the drum, and it's just like I'm surrounded by sprint car drivers, and they're like, "Can we please come back? Can we please come back? Can we please come back?"
Yeah.
And then I'm like, "Okay." And this has been kind of like the theme all of last season. Like every time they found me in the pit somewhere, they're surrounding me, asking me to come back. And I'm like, all right, whatever. And so then Aaron Benson had reached out to me, and I initially kind of ghosted him. And
what?
sorry. And anyway, so then I gave him a few dates. I was like, well, this is what I got open. And then, I wanted Devil's Run weekend, but that didn't work because World Outlaws is back
Oh,
up
sure,
here,
sure.
And I was like, so they
Yeah.
World Outlaws needs to
that-
go a week ahead or a week
Yeah,
behind.
that kind of
Yeah.
sucks because that's our big weekend. It would have been nice to
Right.
have
Yeah,
them on
there's
that.
like five.
Yep. And try
there's like-
telling the world of outlaws anything.
Right. That's
You
like
know?
there's like 5,000 to 7,000 extra people in Devil's Lake that weekend. So it's nice to have, your bigger shows on those nights because, we have that many extra people.
Sure.
So so that didn't work. So then I'm looking around the schedule and I was like, I'm short of class this night. And then Aaron's ghosting me and I'm like, okay, fine. So then I make Nolan call Todd, and then there's a whole ordeal, and we got the whole ordeal squashed.
But it's a done deal.
It's a done deal.
And I am just thrilled. And I've talked to a bunch of the guys from NOSA. They're happy. They're looking forward to it.
Yep.
I did want to bring something up, and I forgot at the top of the show when we were talking about the World of Outlaws. Johnny Gibson was scheduled to miss his first race in 2000 and blah, 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 whatever it was.
2357.
Is that, I can't make it through a 20 race schedule. I'm going to miss 1 or 2 nights, but now here's the thing. That race got rained out or weathered out or something. So his streak is still technically going.
As far as I'm concerned, it is.
All right. That's worth a round of applause.
I had Dirt Vision on, and the delay they ran their whole stock car program, and they're like, we're still not sure. We're still not sure. I looked away at a hockey game. I looked back and I saw the haulers pulling out, and I'm not usually the kind of person that's excited to see something canceled or whatever. I saw the haulers pulling out, and I was like, the streak's alive.
Yeah. And by the way, Johnny, I
So-
think you still owe me a beer from hockey bets this year, but I think anyway.
Yeah.
The Penguins suck.
Yeah.
I do want to say a couple of people. Terry Blacklance, what a great guy. To talk about a guy that's been around racing for a long time. I'll donate $250 to the Cliff Reeve Street Stock race if that helped.
Hey, thanks,
That
Terry.
is
Absolutely.
awfully cool. That is really cool.
Appreciate it.
Appreciate it.
Corey Litton, I watched a couple of replays from Devil's Lake, and I will say Dale is underrated as an announcer. The amount of production he brings just to the opening of the night is impressive. Dale, there you go.
Thank you, Corey.
Very kind. Thank you. And that's the thing about Dale. He preps and preps and preps. He probably starts prepping for your Saturday race on like Wednesday.
Oh,
I'm
it's
not
like
kidding
Tuesday.
you. Yeah, oh, yeah, probably
He
Tuesday.
texts me on Tuesday, and I'm like,
We're not
It's-
done with the weekend yet. It's our day off.
I'm licking my wounds from Saturday still.
There's
I'm a creature of routine, I guess.
he's a routine. But you know what?
Tough on us. That's tough on us with those summer weekends or Monday and Tuesday.
It
Yeah.
is, and I get it too, because I remember my first year being thrown up into the booth, and you're always worried, you're always wondering. Dale now has got a year under his belt, and now you probably won't do as much, but with him you never know. But you start to learn how to roll with the flow a little bit, because things are going to happen. I mean, I've had a lot of things happen to me in the middle of a race. It's like, what the hell do I do now?
Well, this
but-
year he's got to wear a chicken suit to do the chicken dance with the kids.
What?
Yeah, and
It's part of the job description.
yeah. There may be a couple of off the radar challenges that may go on throughout the season here. So we may have some tricks up our sleeves.
A chicken suit. You got to draw the line somewhere, man.
we had a flight man do that one year, and it went really well.
Yeah. God, I don't know. We don't. Chad Hoff would probably do something like that, but
Chad Hoff is the one that started the chicken dance.
why doesn't that surprise me either?
Fishing then.
Yeah. Why doesn't that surprise me? Are you guys? And I don't know. I've heard different racetracks around the area. Life's changed. Kids grow up.
Yeah.
People want to go to the lake. You hear all of the different things. Are you guys set? Do you got all the people you need to get this race season going?
For the most part,
we're looking for front gate attendant and for front gate security, rear gate security.
That's about it.
That's about it.
Okay, so you guys are actually doing pretty good.
Yeah.
Yep.
All right. Now, do they need a ton of experience? What are you looking for? Here's a good chance for you guys to put the shout out right now.
So all you do is you make sure that they bought a ticket, and you check their bags, make sure that they're not bringing in contraband.
And I might have that one already filled too.
Maybe. And
Okay.
then the rear gate, you just got to make sure that the fans don't meander down to the pits before the races are done. You know, that one's more of just a safety thing or pulling people off the fence. So that sort
Now,
of stuff.
is there a certain time, say somebody wants that front gate job, is there a certain time when you stop taking money and they stop buying tickets, or does it
Last
go all
feature.
night?
The last
The
feature.
last
Last
feature.
feature.
Okay. Yeah, because, well, I'm sure you guys learned this the hard way. There's people that will wait until, they think when all the heats are done, okay, they're done. We're just gonna
We
mosey
had
in now.
somebody literally lift the fence up by the
Oh my
bar and go
gosh.
under the fence. There's a security camera there now, and I had to remind some drivers to not pee over there because I'm watching them pee on the security cameras. I might start selling some shit on OnlyFans here.
Chicka bow bow music in the background, and
Start looking where you pee, boys.
it's racing porn. Well, not really, but kind of.
We could have our own OnlyFans account.
Devil's Lake After Dark.
Well, sometimes it's in the middle of the day. It's like, come on.
Like Nick Curtis says, we gonna get video on that? That would be a good one.
Just delete it.
He meant the chicken thing, but yeah. I mean, any video you want from there, I'm sure everything's got a dollar value on it.
As soon as I see them ripping their fly down, I'm like, delete.
Yeah, there you go.
This ain't the 90s anymore.
Yeah.
Right. And we were just,
I
it was
don't want
funny.
that on my hard drive.
Yeah, no.
It was funny because we were talking, a guy that was in here earlier before you guys walked in the door. He lives in the country and I live in the country. And we were talking about how nice it is to live in the country where you can actually just pee off your deck. It's funny how little things like that can make a big difference. But how many people do you know in town that can step outside their front door and pee? Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Not in the middle.
When you're a
that's for
guy
sure.
drinking beer, that's a huge thing. It's a huge thing. People just don't realize
Yeah,
it.
well, I found out the hard way that people have trail cams.
Oh, did you get caught doing what?
Popping a squat.
Oh, pop. Jeez. I love the terminology. Racing terminology, right? Popping a squat.
Yep,
Jesus.
yep.
In the middle of a woods or what? Where were you where there was a trail
Yeah,
cam?
we were driving down the gravel road, and I had to go to the bathroom, so I just pulled over and
And why in the hell would a guy have a trail cam in the middle of a gravel road or out in the
there
middle of
was
nowhere?
trees there.
Oh, okay. So, okay.
I mean, I didn't go in the trees. It's just, you know.
Yeah, you just left that. Where you drive down a gravel road, and you see a random stain where there was a puddle on the side of the road. Gee, I wonder what that's from. Trail cam must have leaked or something like that. Yeah. How do you guys, do you ever start to worry that you don't have enough staff to get going? I mean, it seems like it's never been too bad of a problem, but like me now, it's getting close to crunch time. Like I said, with the, I don't think we'll be called the Bullring Boys anymore, depending on if I get a guy or a girl to help me out. But should I worry about it? I mean, I've got a guy right now that I'm pretty sure is going to do a great job, but I still want to give other people the opportunity because you just never know.
God provides.
We actually were a little nervous this year because Mike Wentz, a longtime employee of ours, he's been with us for 14 years, and was with River Cities for teching. And this year his back's hurting a little bit, so he's not going to come back. And so we were really struggling trying to.
There were a couple areas for both tracks because
Yeah.
I don't think a lot of people appreciate how much the two share
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
on a Friday to Saturday.
And it was so nice.
When one's hurting, the other can
Yeah,
be
and
hurting
it was
too.
so nice,
Yeah.
like, because then we kind of know, like, Mike would come Saturday and he'd be like, well, this happened, blah, blah, blah. You know, so we kind of had an inkling of, okay, you know.
He
what
gave
went
pretty
down-
good
what-
notice. This was what's up.
Yeah,
And
what went, it was nice to know what went down Friday so we know we're kind of prepared for,
Who's going to retaliate Saturday?
right?
Right.
Who do we need to keep an eye on this week?
Oh,
But we really, you know, since we've kind of eliminated some souls, it seems like we don't really have that problem
that's
anymore.
happened a lot over the years. I feel like when Saturday rolls along and it's just like, we're not involved in this. Don't bring that here.
Right.
You know. So
and you know the
Keep
thing
your
is,
shit out of my place.
and the thing is too with a racetrack, if somebody can't make it, maybe they got an injury, maybe they're hurt or whatever. It's not easy to just get somebody off the street and go, hey, can you cover for this guy tonight? All you got to do is this. It's a lot different.
I was
Especially for
very
teching.
lucky because it was like 3 or 4 days before tech training, and it's like a $500 fine if you don't have a tech guy there. And they don't
Oh.
even let me go. Like they wouldn't let a
wait,
promoter go.
wait a minute.
really?
What was that?
Yeah, Wayzata fines you $500 if you don't send a tech guy to their training.
Okay.
No
And
shit.
they don't allow the promoter to go as the backup.
Oh, so you can maybe train
went
your
anyways.
guy from the training you got. That they don't let that happen.
No, you actually have to have a guy there. Or you get fined $500.
Was this
Now-
the deal in Mandan, or was this a different
No.
thing?
No, that was the Gardner.
was Gardner.
He did a official training. Or
Okay.
No, this is
something.
actually the Wayzata
I
tech.
wasn't driving 3 hours for that.
The Wayzata tech training.
Yeah.
So, but
We had to go to Ogilvy.
if you weren't a promoter, track owner, would you think that was a good idea though? Because your tech guy should go to the training, don't you think?
Yeah, if you have one.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
If you have one, and it's never been an issue with you before.
No.
Now, does it
We've
cost?
been pretty lucky.
Does it cost anything for them to go to that training?
No.
Okay, but they'll still ding you 500
They'll ding you
if you
500
don't
if you
send
don't
somebody
send
down
somebody.
there. So
We would have sent Steven if we would have had to.
yeah, all expenses paid.
That would have
trip.
been interesting.
Where was the meetings at?
Ogilvy Speedway.
Well, it
Oh,
was
sure.
in
There's not
Watertown.
a there's not a quiz, is there? Because that
There
would have
is actually.
that would have been ugly.
There is actually a quiz, but they sent it home with them. I'm like, why do you even give it to them?
So usually we go to Watertown. It's just Watertown was the same night as our race banquet. So we're like, well, that doesn't work.
No,
So-
sure. Seth Clostrike replying to Corey Litton, you're so good, man. Dale is a stud. Dale's getting a lot of love here today. Roger Fuller, Nolan.
Oh God.
Yeah.
That's Chad's kid, right?
Yep.
Okay, what's the story there?
Oh, it's just one of my good friends.
Oh, okay.
sons. He races
Nolan.
Baja.
Oh,
He
okay.
raced- yeah, we went and watched him race Baja at the Fall Fest in Badger, Minnesota, at the end of the year. So
Okay, have you guys ever thought about doing a Baja race
we've
at
talked
the
about
racetrack?
Talked about it, yeah.
Talked about
Because
it.
I mean, basically, Dale and I, we did the Baja. I think here was it last year here. Basically, what they do is right on the inside of the racetrack, but they just put one little turn thing in there, and they call that Baja. But didn't do any damage to the racetrack. Drew a lot of people, but then again, we got a fair going on at the same time, and you guys don't have. I don't think the Doyen Fair has been around for a while now. So
I can attest that I don't think Doyen's ever had a fair. Ramsey County used to have a fair, but Ramsey County Fair's never really been that big of a
We had a
deal.
Doyen.
Where
circus.
would it even
We had a
be?
Doyen. We had a Doyen
What
circus
town would
once.
it be in even?
Oh,
Devil's Lake.
sure.
Okay.
Yeah.
Roger Fuller says, when I was a little one, Nolan was painting a car in the frame, and where you feet go, he painted purple and got on my snow pants. Nolan, you got his painted purple snow pants.
He sat on my frame.
Oh, so he had a purple butt stripe on his head. We got a bunch of pictures here we want to show, and thank goodness I didn't even have this down in my notes about pictures, but I know you sent some pictures. Let's take a look at these pics, and you guys can just talk about what you see. Roger says he was probably 7. All right, let's
Probably
take a
younger.
Wow, these are some great pics, too. Go ahead. You guys can talk all you want about these pictures.
Steven took this picture.
Blind squirrel catches an acorn every once in a while.
Yeah. What a
That's a great
what
pic.
a great
Beautiful
picture
picture.
with the canola in the background.
Blooming.
And 4 wide.
Wow, I was thinking for some reason that was like a fence. That's canola. That is a
canola.
great picture.
Probably one of my better picks last year.
It'd be really cool if they would have split that and put flax on one side and
Oh,
canola on
right
the other,
down the
and then
middle.
because they bloom at like the same time and it's gorgeous.
Yeah, but look at that. You got the one TPO there in front. You got Joey right behind him. Man, that is a great picture.
There's a lot of lanes. You can see that.
Oh, for sure. For sure. Well, they're 4 wide.
Yeah.
It's kind of funny looking at the photos after the year, like testing tunes, there's nothing there. This is midsummer, obviously, and then at the end of the year, it looks like the beginning of the year again. Like you can see the evolution as time goes on there. But
That was the golden hammer, it looks like.
Yeah.
Oh, sure. Yeah, that time of the year with the canola.
man.
Yeah, okay.
All
All right.
That was a makeup day. I just remember on the actual day of the original late model golden hammer, that early rainout would happen before it started. I just remember getting drenched in the pits and just doing a mad dash back up to the booth. But
Yeah, it just sucked that our 2 races after the
Both
5
the
in the
Golden
beginning,
Hammers
both
did
Golden
that.
Hammers got rained out, so we had to reschedule both of them.
All right. Let's see what else we got here. Oh, what in the
So-
world was that?
so-
Oh, is he skateboarding?
He's
Yep.
skateboarding in Walmart.
I used to skateboard when I was a kid, so
Oh,
I want to
did
try
too.
it out again.
I did too. Broke
So
my first bone on a skateboard.
Nolan is like a big child, a grown child, and so I catch him
The hell
doing
you say?
shit like this all the time. And so when I
The
was
go-karts and
when I was trying to find pictures, I was scrolling through years and years, and I found that, and I was like, "Oh, that's funny."
All right.
I forgot I had that picture.
Broke my first time I broke my arm was on a skateboard. I was being pulled behind a motorcycle in a hospital parking lot, but that's for
Well,
another
We
good thing
day.
were
you were there.
conveniently located.
That's another story, another show. All right, let's see what else we got here. Oh, great pick.
My brother's wedding,
You guys do clean up pretty good.
once in a while.
That's a great picture.
What's the bar?
Now, folks, if you've never seen the bar there, is that
It's Brad.
Brad?
Brad.
Brad
Holy.
and
You
our,
know what?
And our flag man right on the
Steve
right,
Josie.
Steve Josie.
Yep.
Okay.
Harry, Mama Trough grooving.
Okay, and I'm guessing sitting right to the left of Brad is
Tunis.
who the heck is that?
There's Tunis. I don't know who's in between him and Tunis.
Okay. Oh, it's Shane Edgington is to the left of him, I
I
believe.
I can tell in the background the grass is still green. So I think this night was the one we were going to Minot the next day.
Maybe.
Okay.
So they all stayed and watched, I think, Cedar Lake.
Yeah,
Okay.
that's what it was. Yeah.
Okay.
Brad
All right.
was chomping at the bit to get done to watch Cedar Lake.
Yeah.
if I
Oh,
recall
sure.
Right.
So this would have been 2019, I think.
Yeah, it's old. It's an old picture.
Great play. It's a good pick, though. Oh, boy. Thanks, guys. Now I'm freaking starving. Shrimp, steak, garlic toast, banana.
Lobster tail.
Always helpful when I
Oh,
didn't have
boy.
time to eat this morning, you know.
We got,
Well, at least somebody ate today.
hey, there's a pork chop in every can, right?
That's true.
All right.
Yeah, right.
Okay, there we go with some wingless sprints.
That was the first
Oh,
year of
that's
the
the
wingless.
first
Oh,
year.
okay.
That's
Wow.
2020.
Okay.
Yeah, they put on a great show every night. You know, Miles was really smart to start that class.
Oh,
'cause
absolutely. It
People
was-
are just loving it.
People were wondering when it was going to start. When were we going to bring something like that around here? And that's
And I actually wanted to do it before he even brought it to me.
Mm-hmm.
So when he asked me about it, I'm like, let's do it.
only bitch I have about the wingless sprints is
I can't see the numbers.
yeah, you can't see
Yeah.
the numbers. You usually have it all over a big wing, and if you get lost in your computer, it's nice. But okay.
Oh, well.
Oh boy.
An oldie but goodie.
Wow, no
Scotty,
kidding.
Where was this?
I was
at?
in Forks.
This is in River Cities. This
Oh.
was when Ricky was running with Bloomquist.
Yeah, and I tried to get a hold of him. I couldn't. And then Shane Romling called me the next day and said, "Well, I had lunch with him." I'm like, "Shut up." I don't know
Yeah,
anything
no,
about
yeah,
it.
no. It was all over Snapchat. They're
Yeah.
like going all over the place. And then when Kyle Larson was, I saw they were at Red Pepper with Kyle Larson, and I looked at Nolan. I was like, you know, I had no intention of going to the races, but we're gonna go to the races tomorrow.
You know, speaking of Kyle Larson, I messaged him to see if we could ever Zoom him on the show, and he didn't even reply to me. Thanks, Kyle. All right.
Here's an
Oh,
old
boy.
Old one.
That is
Ooh.
1995.
Wow.
Holy cow, you know that?
That is Nolan Stoney and Mike Tomlinson, and I'm guessing that's Hamilton.
Probably. Yeah, I think it is.
Damn.
Either that or Blue Ribbon.
No, that's Hamilton.
Hamilton?
Nolan,
How old were
only
you then,
raced-
Steven?
you only raced
Me?
Blue Ribbon
I
once,
didn't.
right?
No, I raced Blue Ribbon more than that, but not back then.
I was probably 7, like the message says.
Damn.
So
Oh yeah, I only did race Blue Ribbon once. That was my first feature win.
Holy, look at
Oh,
this
boy.
kid.
Stoney beat me that night.
Look at these kids.
Litzinger, the flagman too.
Yeah, Steve Litz.
Wow, I
would
forgot
this,
about him.
Would this be Greenbush or did he
This
just
is
go
Hamil-
everywhere?
This is Hamilton.
Okay.
Yeah, he did flagging at both.
Stoney hasn't changed at all.
Not at all.
No.
Oh dear.
So back when I raced the sites,
He had
I don't
duct tape
know,
on
this-
his. We had to replace the door and we just used duct tape.
Well, I didn't have a wrap on my car, so I just used duct tape on my car. So
Oh,
it was
sure.
just the 4N and duct tape.
Yeah.
And I actually had a fan of mine from Winnipeg, didn't even know that he was coming or didn't even know if I was going to show up. Came with a shirt with duct tape with my name and my number.
So we were getting reports like all weekend. Hey, there is this guy running around up front with a duct tape 4N Olmstead and like sending us pictures of this, and we're like, what?
But he came down after the
Yeah.
races and got an
Got his
autograph.
autograph.
Oh, boy.
It looks like Daryl Maydanek. If
It
I think
Oh,
it is.
yeah,
is.
yeah.
It is.
Yeah.
So that was pretty sweet.
Boy, there she is. the old
Victory Lane, I'm
4N.
going to say
Victory
this is
Lane.
about 04-ish, era, somewhere in there.
No,
No,
03.
Nopa era,
This is 03.
for sure.
This is 03.
Yep.
Because my car was green in 04.
Yeah. Oh boy, AZ Speedway.
Yep.
That was the
we
last
went-
time he ran
The last
mod.
time I ran my mod, we were down at the
And
Wild West Shootout.
Not long after that, Great Balls of Fire.
Yep.
Goodness gracious, Great Balls of Fire.
The motor took a crap, so I left it in the trailer since then.
He's still mad
Oh,
at
no
it.
kidding.
He's
Wow.
mad at it.
Oh, that is a great picture there. That is pretty cool. That's what, coming out of turn 4?
Yep.
Yeah.
So
And you can see the bar restaurant
You can see
there.
how close the bar is actually
Yeah.
to the track. So
And you can see the people on the deck
Yeah, it's
sitting right there. That's a great picture.
best seat in the house.
Absolutely.
Steven, was this one of the ones you took?
No,
From
this is old. This is like 2020.
This is COVID year. This is COVID year for sure.
Yeah.
Yep. Oh, jeez.
Wow.
Oh, I got you too, Steven.
That's like the
Where
three.
in the-
That's
this
like the
is-
Three
this is
Stooges right
Vegas.
there.
So we knew Steven was in Vegas, and we were in Vegas for Blake Anderson's 21st birthday, and
Oh,
we
sure.
never saw them after we left the airport. We never saw anybody.
Never saw Steve. Never saw
No,
anybody.
we never
Oh.
saw anybody. It was funny because we stayed at different hotels because
Oh,
we had
sure.
comps at a different casino. Anyway, so we're like, "Hey, Steven's over at
Vegas
Steven's over
Speedway.
at the track. We should go see Steven." So we take an Uber, and it's a long Uber drive over there. So we take an Uber over to Vegas Speedway, and we get in there, and there's nobody in the stands. You know, we're walking up, and I just immediately just walk up to the scoring booth, and he's sitting there, and he's just like, "What the fuck is she doing here?"
Well, it was so funny too because I think the only reason I looked down because I was looking to probably go outside and watch Jess run his modified.
Right.
You know, so
Jess
I was
Brecky,
like,
yeah.
well, all of us are here now. Like the 3 of us are up here. He's running. Female Jess is over here. Like the kids, like we're all here now. You know, but now that I remember that was so funny because I remember Robin and them telling me about that trip, and it was like, man, that overlap. We have like that one day there where we're all in the same place or whatever. But yeah, funny.
There you go. And that's on a rink, a hockey rink.
Yep. So the skating show, we
bought an ad.
we
in
bought
the
an ad in the ice show. So I built a late model,
Oh, there you go. That's cool.
a little late model, and then the kids drove it around and had the checkered flag out. And
Did that thing actually drive?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it's a Power Wheels.
Oh, sure.
We studded the tires.
Studded,
Oh, yeah.
It's studded tires and an 18-volt Milwaukee battery.
Little sheetrock screws in the tires
Yep.
or what? Yep. There you go. I used to do that with my motocross bikes and drive the river. back home.
Not sure about the deck height on that, but
Might be illegal.
Might be.
Looks pretty cool though.
Tech. Need a tech guy.
I kind of needed all that that aluminum for my mod
Yeah,
later on,
yeah.
but
Some more great pictures here.
Yep. So it's kind of cool that we had that picture with Mike Tomlinson and me way back in
Yeah.
'95. Well, that's Miles and me. So
This is 2014, I think, or 15.
This is the Stampede. isn't
15.
it?
it's at the Stampede
It's in Jamestown,
yeah.
coming out of 4. And you've got
Cody.
Schulp between the two of you.
Yeah.
So.
And then there's me and Miles running the wingless.
I
the
forgot
first year.
you ran wingless there
Yeah.
for a little bit. Yeah. Wow.
There's someone here
that's-
that likes to forget those days.
That's when I
on
drove.
purpose. So.
That's like my first time I ever was in the car, and I drove around everybody in the first corner and took the lead, and I was like a half lap ahead, and then my power steering hose blew off and went all over the cockpit.
Oh, that's
So-
right. I remember when that. Yeah.
And you ended up in the sewer.
Yeah, I ended up off of corner 4.
Oh boy. That's it. Wow. Thank you guys.
Danny
That was-
Wisco's old J&J that he got from Donnie, I
Yeah,
believe.
Donnie Schatz' old car. Yep.
That's awesome. Before we wrap up, time is just flying. We were talking about how important sponsors are and things like that. A chance for you now. I don't know if you've got all your sponsors figured out for this year, but a chance for you.
pretty
I see.
close.
It
We
looks
got a
like
few left.
Heather's brought out the cheat sheet here. So give a shout out to your sponsors and whoever you want to give a shout out to.
Yeah, absolutely. Lakota Feed, Rick's Concrete, Jerome Wholesale. That's the one that Dale always says, Bush. They're our Bush distributor, Jerome Wholesale.
That's how it's spelled.
Yeah, because they just give us the Bush logo.
Oh yeah,
so.
yep.
Lake Region Corporation, Performance Auto, Elkin Unlimited, Tronson Grain, North Dakota Telephone Company, State Bank of Lakota, Young Hatch Motorsports, Napa, Devils Lake Car, the GM store at Devils Lake Cars, Deitzler Electric, Bullis Construction, High Plains Equipment, Ironhide Equipment, Pumps, Calderwood Landscaping, CHS, Beerley Construction, Les Schwab Tires, Brecky Aviation, Farmers Union Oil, and of course, last but not least, Walhalla Building Center.
And I actually have a few more.
Okay, go ahead.
So we have Forks Lathe and Plaster, Total Heating and Air, JD's Bar and Grill, Hovde Resorts, Wall Family Auto, Crossroads Coffee. See here, I gotta switch.
You gotta turn the
screen.
card around.
Yeah, switch screens. I have Exhaust Pros, Thompson's Paint and Glass, and that's it.
You can tell people that have been on the show multiple times, they have their cheat sheets. They have everything they know instead of like, oh, crap.
We
And I can tell the ones that don't because, and if I do their PR, I can find a quick and quiz them.
We actually
So-
did something different this year. I went around to local businesses in town, and I had a huge support. It actually didn't take me long to fill out. I'm doing a 9x12 postcard.
Oh, sure.
And half of the postcard is going to have my schedule on, and we're sending it out to 5,000 people in and
Wow.
around Devil's Lake. So
That is pretty cool.
And people were excited to get on that, and
Yeah.
it really helped out with the cost of it because it's not cheap to send
No.
out
Right.
5,000
No,
mailers.
bulk
No.
mailers are like stupid expensive.
Wow.
So-
Let's see. Okay, so hopefully April 12th is we're going to get started. If not, it would be the 19th.
Yep.
And if it is the 19th, I might be there because he's going to be gone. And if that's the
Are
case,
you running?
That's in the middle of May. No, that's WrestleMania is really late this year.
Why can I not get away from you wrestling people?
well, you know, here's the thing. I've always been kind of the backup for you guys at Devil's
Yeah.
Lake for the last few years. But this SOB here, he never misses squat. I mean, he's like, are you sick? Yeah, I'm sick as a dog. Are you going to go to the racetrack? Yeah. Well, come on, man. Give me a shot. And so now I got my shot. So, and I hate to say this for all of you, but I'm kind of hoping he doesn't make it on the 19th because I was really itching to get back there last year and I didn't get the chance.
No, we've heard he's booked, so he's out.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep.
If
Well,
weather cooperates.
I'm making an executive decision right now. Dale gets to have the entire day off to do Dale things.
Okay.
Because if he comes to the track and he starts doing the woo in the microphone, I'm gonna kill him.
What's wrong with the
love
good
it.
old-fashioned Ric Flair? Woo!
That's a Southern Valley thing, not
There
a
you
Northern
go.
Valley
There
thing.
you go.
I'm not the valley. I'm the prairie.
The tundra. Nolan and Heather, I want to thank you guys for coming in. I'm looking forward to the year, and I can tell by just talking to you guys, you are too. That's the thing about being race freaks like we all are. Winter is way too frickin' long around here. You know
We
what?
didn't even have winter this year.
No, we didn't. We did not.
We're getting
Now
it
we have
now.
it.
Yep.
We had fires in March.
I actually have more snow at the racetrack. I actually have to go home and plow. I haven't plowed all year.
Wow. Yeah, I wish I could
Wild.
say that. But you know, the thing is with race people, I don't know if you're like me, by the end of the year, because we wrap, you know, we have a long, that last month, half a month for us is crazy. I'm so ready for it to be done at the end of the year. Last year I wasn't. And then after 2 weeks, your first Friday off from the track, you're like, this is nice. The next Friday, it's 75 degrees, and you're like, why in the hell aren't we still racing? And then it's like that all winter long. I jones for it. I watch the most I can and all of that. But I'm really looking forward to Devil's Lake this year. I know you guys are too. This is going to be a great year. I want to thank you guys for coming in again today. You guys actually kicked off the scheduling this year for us. By the way, Steven, thank you for coming. And of course,
Yeah,
Dale, the
Steven
producer.
didn't ditch us this year.
No, he's the guy now. So
He's the guy now?
he's no longer the backup goalie. He is the
I
co-host.
was here in the fall when you were here.
Were you?
Yeah.
I was.
Oh.
See, he's the co-host
But
now.
he was supposed to come one other time, and he like ditched us. Remember this?
He had some other stuff going on or something.
I'll have to look back at when that was, but that was a different
and
era.
Chad is 100% never been here when we were
Yeah,
still on a streak.
yeah.
Well, hell, he's in a different time zone now.
Yeah,
so.
now he's in a different time zone. That is right. Again, folks, we're looking for another guy to help me out at the River City Speedway. Feel free to personal message me. You can give us a call here. You can email me, whatever. Heather MacDonald, Nolan Olmstead from Devil's Lake Speedway. We thank you guys so much for coming in again, and I'm sure we'll have you in again during the show, on the show sometime this season. Stephen Lewis, my co-host, always doing a great job, and of course Dale, the producer, making me look way better, makes us all look way better than I know I do anyway. Next week, by the way, as we continue with our track schedules, Mark Curtis Askelson. Been a while since Mark Curtis has been on the show, but he's going to be back. He's the announcer at Norman County Speedway in Ada. The job he had before didn't allow him to be here, but he's all keyed up about coming in next week. And then we're going to keep going from there until the season starts going, all right? I'm looking forward to this. 9 o'clock tonight. Do we have Brew Brothers tonight at 9?
Yep.
Okay.
9 o'clock tonight.
All right, make sure you tune in for that. If you're a beer guy or girl, you're going to want to tune into the Brew Brothers tonight at 9. We'll catch you tomorrow. Actually, Dale will be here tomorrow morning. I'll be gone. Remember to like, share, tag, and follow us. Everybody, hit that notification bell on your smartphone. You never miss a show that way. We love the Forks. They're awesome. Grand Forks' best source? Well, we gave the Forks their identity back.